MovieWeb.com.
Are you boys 21? Say yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead in. Show's about to start. Welcome to the Cirque du Freak.
That is sweet.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Darren, I saw his painting in one of my vampire books. He's a vampire.
Having a good time? Darren, want to become a vampire?
I'll do it.
So John, I wanted to begin by asking you, in a film like this, does the novel come into play when you're creating the character? How do you sort of balance the book and the script and pleasing the fans as well as pleasing yourself as an artist?
Yeah, it definitely comes into play. I mean, that was my blueprint for the character, was the books. I tried to, as much as I could, through playing my own character, really stick to the character of Krebsley as described in the books. You know, in terms of the movie overall, like taking 3 long books and compacting them into 2 hours is something that you have to kind of tailor make, you know, so that's something Paul Weitz did, but he was concerned with pleasing the fans of the books as much as I was too. I think, you know, there's a reason that the movie came to be, and it's because the books were popular, and the books became popular because of the fans enjoying them. So yeah, I definitely thought about that, and it was a great resource too. It was like this, you know, paperback backstory for my character, or at least, you know, gives you a lot more insight into what you need to do.
Well, first of all, I'm just gonna say The Vampire's Assistant is based on the Cirque du Freak book series, and it's actually a combination of the first 3 books. So the first 3 books were kind of put together, and the storyline was meshed and came out in the movie. And I think I didn't read the books before I got the audition, and then after I got the part, I went to the bookstore and started reading it. And there is some differences in my character, like in the books. The first book I read, it said Darren was 12. And in the movies, because the first 3 are kind of pushed together, they kind of evened it out and made him like 15, 16. So, you know, there's different differences, and as an actor, you know, I definitely want to put my own spin on Darren because, you know, creatively, that's my job in a certain sense. But I think overall the story and the books really go well together, and I think the fans will really respond well to the movie and hopefully to the character of Darren.
The book has such a big following that the film is based on, so I was wondering, when you're creating the character, do you go back to the book? Do you stick strictly to the script, or how do you please the fans and yourself?
I never even read the book, so I like the script very much, and I realized that the director, Paul Weitz, had a very clear vision of it, and he knew what he was doing, and so I just created, I trusted him completely and created with him his vision of the book.
I feel cold.
Lick your fingers.
Whoa, is that like vampire power? Do I have super spit now?
Yes, you have super spit. The rest will take a while.
The rest of what will I be able to do? Can I like turn into a bat and stuff?
No, that's bull. Now hop on my back. We're going to flit.
We're gonna what?
Just shut up and hop on my back. You held your breath, right? Did I not tell you to hold your breath? Oh, sorry.
And there's been a lot of vampire movies out in recently and on TV, and so I was wondering, how do you think this film will hold up with those? How do you think it compares? And do you think there's enough room for all these movies out there?
I definitely think there's room for all the movies because all the vampire things are different in every story. In every movie, the vampires have a unique characteristic or trait. You know, there's not like all vampires are the exact same. You know, like our vampires are very different than Twilight's vampires. And so, I mean, I think, you know, there's comparisons in the overall fact that it's about vampires, but you know, I think Cirque du Freak will definitely hold its own because it's based on a really good story and we got a really good cast, and I think the movie was put together really well.
You know, we did this movie before all these other vampire movies and things came out, so I had no idea they were coming, and but what I liked about it, because I've even been a vampire before From Dusk Till Dawn, what I liked about this one is that it's not just about the vampires, it's about the freaks also, and the circus, and it's a different vampire story. It's definitely a completely different angle on them, and that was refreshing. So I think it's good that it's good for the film that people are fascinated on vampires and they want to know more about vampires because it's not repetitive what this film has to offer.
Yeah, I do. I think certainly at the weekend that we're opening, you know, the choice is like a really intense, violent movie or, you know, this one. And this movie still is dark and has scary parts to it and definitely pushes the envelope in terms of what a younger audience can handle. But it respects that line too, you know. And there's a lot of really, really intense, graphic, violent stuff out there right now, and that's fine if you can handle it. But, you know, younger people are a little more sensitive, I think, and appreciate an adventurous story without nightmares.
Sure.
Although I may give people nightmares, I don't know.
I want you to make me into a vampire. I mean, vampires, they don't take crap from anybody. They live by their own set of rules.
It's true. They do have their own rules. We wrote some of them.
Yes, and one of them is children can't become vampires.
Look, blood.
Blood! You see, Gavner? Blood. Look, if you become a vampire, you have to leave your friends and your family. It's deeply depressing. Trust me. Now get out of here.
Was doing a franchise sort of fantasy film like this, was that something you were looking to do? Were you seeking out a script like this?
Well, I enjoy movies like this, you know, like Harry Potter and, you know, Lord of the Rings, those kind of movies were epic adventures involving younger characters. Those are the kind of movies I like to see. So, yeah, I was definitely open to doing one, and I also just like mixing it up, you know. I like to kind of upend people's preconceived notions of what I can do as an actor, so this was a great opportunity for that.
I had a blast, and I love the people involved in the show, which could be the problem because, like, if you get along everybody well, and it's great. But imagine if you stuck with somebody that you don't enjoy working with, and then it's like number 7, you know. I think that it's great. Look, if the film it's a good film, it's gonna do well. They'll do another one. If the film is not good, it's not like you're doing another not good one, you know?
Right. Well, in a film like this with books that it was based on a whole franchise of books, obviously there's a whole franchise of films that if this is successful that could come with it. So as an actor, is that something that you're excited about possibly doing, or do you get kind of scared about being typecast in a certain type of role?
Well, I think it's really exciting to have the opportunity to do more movies. I mean, I'm not really too worried about being typecast because I can do other movies and stuff like that too. And for me, acting isn't about how long I can go or how much money I can make, but it's about fun and like doing things because I like it, you know. And I would love to do more movies, so you know, I'm not worried about it. I'm just excited to do more if the fans respond to the movie.